chapter here, and Sean is going to talk to us today about the Armchair Telethon. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, Sean, and turn it over to you. If you've got something you'd like to share, go for it. Thanks for being here.
All right, thank you. I am sharing. This will take less than a minute, I think, if I can.
We can see it.
You can see it. For some reason, I'm not, oh, I know where it is. I apologize. Slideshow, play from start. We're good to go. Okay, Sean Spence, CEO of Better Nonprofits, which I'm telling you right now is probably gonna, that name is probably gonna go away and it's gonna end up just being Armchair Telethon. Armchair Telethon came about because, like all of us, I was spending a lot of time at home, often bored, not able to do as much as I wanted to do, not able to be out as much as I wanted to be, feeling a little bit guilty because I'm a very kind of committed to doing things for my community kind of person. And I was trying to figure out something I could do to try to make the world a little better place, to try to help my community. I'm a 30-year fundraiser, trying to figure out something I could do sitting in my armchair. I mean, that's where the name came from. This is a true thing. And I kind of popped into my head to do a telethon, to do a virtual telethon as a fundraiser at that point for the COVID-19 relief effort here in my town, which I then did for free, of course, because it was just this little thing I was trying to do to take up a little bit of my time and all that. Between the time I had the idea and the time we finished it was 8 days. And my goal, I was going to break my arm off, patting myself on the back if we raised $5,000. We ended up raising over $35,000. I understood the magic of what we had. There are a variety of things that are very different, frankly, just because of the power of the internet and because of the power of social media. And there are all these things that are exactly the same about other fundraising events and whatever. All the rules are the same, just some of them are turbocharged. And so there are things for anybody here who is a professional fundraiser or has been involved in fundraising, you will be shocked, you might not believe me, but it is the same. It's just turbocharged in a variety of ways. And we can talk about that in the Q&A if you want to. And yes, I'm paying very close attention to time. Problems. Nonprofits need money. They need to get their message out. They need less expensive alternatives. And that is what we provide. So we create these virtual telethons that are very, very different. And we go to nonprofit organizations, but also there are a bunch of other verticals that make sense. And so when we talk about what I need, certainly I need people who want to hire us, but also I'm really working hard to figure out the best product market fit, right? That's the great challenge for fast growth companies, which this very much is. We were in the Wall Street Journal a couple of weeks ago, and that made honestly, that was a huge boost and that was cool. But we're still trying to figure out the exact best product market fit that will allow us to grow the fastest. So we do most of our work right now for nonprofits, but there are other things that we want to do. And as long as it makes the world a better place, right? And as long as it makes us some money, that's what we want to do. And there are a bunch of different ways to do that. Our primary market is nonprofit organizations, just talked about that. Business model, very simple. We charge a fee, and it says we charge a fee to nonprofits. But as I said, and as we can get the more details in the Q&A if you want to, there are other markets that are doing incredibly important things for our community and that also are lucrative. And so we'll be looking at those too. We have increasing virality, which really just comes from if we do an event somewhere, then every other nonprofit in town wants us to do an event. And I cannot tell you, I can tell you, I've turned away 6 marquee, top nonprofits in my city alone, and said, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. Because we only want to do 4 in my city because it's, population 100,000, not that big a thing. And I am not worried about it getting oversaturated with telethons, but I don't want the market to get oversaturated with me, right? I don't want to always be calling lots of people and putting out the thing, telling people what we're doing. I do have a small first mover advantage because there's going to be people in Norman Lake who are doing this, right? Within probably 3 to 6 months, there will be people in Norman Lake who are offering this. My first mover advantage is my ability to do this nationally because I have some proprietary processes that did not exist mostly, and I created them over the last 30 years that are allowing me to go national and do these things all over the country. So right now, after less than a month of selling, we're in 4 states and it's going super fast. It's honestly kind of nuts. I've never seen anything like it. Proprietary processes, national network of super connected influencers, which I could tell you about in Q&A if you want. Really great team. Competitive analysis. There's little or no truly national competition. That's not going to last. That's going to last for 6 months, maybe a little bit longer than that, maybe. And then in 3 to 5 years, everybody's going to be doing this. Every event planner, every organization will either be doing it or trying to do it. Financial analysis. I believe our run rate will hit $30,000 a month by August 1st and escalate from there. We are a virtual company, which we are working very hard to build a truly virtual company, not just a company that doesn't want to pay for office space, so we call ourselves virtual. And there are plenty of those, and I've been a part of those. I helped start one of those, so I get that. Definitely no criticism, but we want to build a virtual company that in 10 years from now is a virtual company where anybody can work anywhere and live the life that they want to live and still contribute 100% here. We should be able to fund without fundraising. There's some reasons why I may get some investment anyway. We can talk about that in Q&A if you want. Here are some interesting questions that someone might want to ask that you would not know to ask unless you asked me, unless you knew some stuff about my history. So you can just look at that, and you're welcome to ask any of those questions in the Q&A, and it'll lead to a fun story or a fun, hopefully, insight, or maybe it'll just make me happy, and that's okay too. And then what am I looking for? And I've added a thing to this that really has become more important to me, but what problems should we prepare for as we build a virtual company? Incredibly important to me. We need introductions to nonprofits who want to raise money and awareness, and that would be something for me as a fellow entrepreneur, but that would be something for them because we can do incredible, incredible things for nonprofits. And I never can see that last square, and I always forget what it is. So on we go. But the other thing is that product market fit. And anybody who has any thoughts on that, we're working on that. I may have figured it out, even like literally in the last 24 hours. And I'm happy to talk about that in Q&A if we want. Thank you all very much. That's my 6 minutes. Appreciate y'all.